a provincial Ukrainian estate that gave a head start to all nests of nobility of the Russian Empire. A sudden change in occupation that gave the world artistic masterpieces. A marriage that marked the beginning of a major success story. Sloboda, Ukraine. This historical and geographical region in the eastern part of Ukraine and the border regions of Russia, in its modern form, emerged from the mortal fear that the Duchy of Moscow felt before the Crimean Khanate and the Polish-Lithuanian state, as well as the oppression Ukrainians suffered during the times of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. The neighbors that surrounded Sloboda, Ukraine on four sides left their traces in its development. And while the southern one, the Crimean Khanate, determined its defensive nature, then the western one, the Hetmanate, established its national political structure and territorial administration. It even left its mark on local art. The results of this we can observe in several museums of this region. These are 110 high-quality artistic porcelain works, which are divided into four particular categories. This is a category known as sculptural plastic. It is the most powerful one. The other consists of sculptured vessels that seem to fulfill the role of sculptures, but their function and purpose is purely utilitarian. The third category is in fact tableware adorned with rocaille decorations. And the fourth separate category consists of sculptured details of a carved porcelain iconostasis, mirror frames, and several different works of art. In turn, the first category, the most interesting one in terms of art, is divided into four subgroups, each with its peculiarities, conditions, and circumstances of creation. I would say that these are sculptures that record historical and political figures. The second group is made up of the images of literary characters. The third group is characters following rocaille and sentimental and romantic themes. And here I would also single out caricatures, which are worth describing in more detail. This is the collection of the Nikanor Onatsky Regional Art Museum in Sumy. But there is also an exposition in the Kharkiv Art Museum. It's smaller in size, though it is no less valuable. The exhibited works represent different plots and stylistic capabilities of this porcelain and demonstrate its diversity. I said that it was high-tech porcelain, and this first of all is reflected in the production of large-scale items. A frame fragment is displayed in the exposition. These porcelain elements were used to frame mirrors and cantilever shelves in aristocratic salons. They also used to produce porcelain chandeliers, garden stools, and benches. Such large-scale items of utilitarian significance can only be produced using high-tech manufacturing setups.
Вещи утилитарного значения могут быть произведены только на высокотехнологичном производстве.
All of these are the products of one Ukrainian porcelain factory, which was once famous throughout the Russian Empire and the whole world. But very few people know about it today. For the first time, they started talking about the products of the Volokytyne Porcelain Factory in the first half of the 19th century. Year 1839. The Industrial and Art Exhibition is in full swing in St. Petersburg. Unexpectedly, a silver medal was awarded to products of a small provincial factory in the Glukhovsky district of the Chernihiv Governorate. The owner of the factory was Andrei Miklaszewski. Maynard top porcelain production. This is what Miklaszewski's factory was. This was a typical phenomenon for the 19th century. The manor was located in Glukhivsky Povit of the Chernihiv Governorate. Now this is the Putyvl County in the Sumy Oblast. The landlord Andrei Miklaszewski was a member of a noble family. The Ukrainian family of Miklaszewski originates from a Cossack officer of a Cheherin company named Andrei Miklaszewski. His name is mentioned in an important document from the times of Bogdan Khmelnytsky, the registry of the Zaporizhian host from 1649. His direct descendant is the famous Mikhailo Miklaszewski, who built several churches, including one on the territory of the Vidubichi Monastery in Kiev. And upon his death, he was buried in the St. George Church. Mikhailo Miklaszewski built a decent career under Hetman Ivan Samoilovich. From another hetman, Ivan Mazepa, he received large estates on left bank Ukraine, including the village of Volokytyne. As time went by, this property was passed on to his son Stepan, and then later the property was passed on to Stepan's great-grandson Andrei Miklaszewski. Stepan was the one who launched the construction of this manor, but the actual architect who continued this work and made the village of Volokytyne and his manor, which later became a porcelain factory that achieved worldwide recognition, came under the ownership of his great-grandson Andrei Miklaszewski, who was born in 1801. For a while, Andrei Miklaszewski was not interested neither in the manor nor in the Russian Empire in general. He found it much more interesting to observe the political life of France. During that time, he made a good career for himself. At the age of 18, he graduated from the Tsarskoye Selo Imperial Boarding School and went to serve as a cornet in the Akhtirsky Hussar Regiment. In 1821, at the age of almost 20, Miklaszewski had already reached the rank of a lieutenant. By the age of 23, he retired as a cavalry captain. In 1836, he married the 18-year-old member of the Russian Olsufiev noble family, the beautiful Darina. He settled down in the family estate and started working on its improvement. In 1839, Miklaszewski became the father of two children. The first child, Maria, married a member of the Skorpatsky Cossack family. The second child was a porcelain factory. Products of Miklaszewski's factory, Volokytyne Porcelain, were distinguished by their high quality, so they were presented at many industrial exhibitions. In 1853, one of these exhibitions was held in Krolevets. And the first exhibition at which Miklaszewski was awarded a silver medal was held in St. Petersburg in the same year that the factory was built in 1839. The products were endorsed, and at the exhibition in St. Petersburg, they were awarded a silver medal. They earned very positive reviews. Then they earned other awards. And Miklaszewski's porcelain was of perfect quality, with high artistic value. And Andrei Mikhailovich gained the title of the main supplier of the imperial court. All these awards clearly show that these were extraordinary products. Indeed, this was porcelain of the highest quality. Quite a good result, which even those who have been engaged in this business for many years can rarely boast of. How did a simple landowner achieve this? And why did a former hussar become interested in porcelain in the first place?
что он фарфор...
Perhaps we could say that he organized the porcelain production because he was impressed by the estates of Western Europe, which had a large amount of porcelain in their design and interiors.
В своем оформлении в интерьерах имели большое количество фарфора, потому что его...
This was because his own manor's interior design also included a large number of porcelain vases, chandeliers and benches.
имело в оформлении интерьера.
Він же був аристократом, ясно, він хотів себе...
He belonged to aristocracy, and of course he wanted everything around him to be beautiful.
Я думаю, що це було високо...
And I think that these were his sentimental artistic feelings.
Духовні такі почуття, тому він...
This is why he brought here all the best things that deserve to be exhibited in this place. This is our pride. This is our heritage, our high heritage.
Висока спадщина.
Андрій Міклашевський дуже був освіченою і непересічною.
Andrei Miklaszewski was a highly educated and remarkable person, so he invited two brothers for the construction of the porcelain factory. They came from France. Their names were François and Auguste Dart.
І ось ці
These highly experienced and respected specialists were the ones who did this.
зробили своє діло. Перший присвятив
The former dedicated all his life to this and died in the village of Volokytyne.
це Франсуа Дарт, який
This was François Dart, who headed the manufactory, served as its director and managed the production of the best items as an artist. His brother Auguste Dart was a great technologist and performed technological works. He built the firing kilns.
такі, знаєте, технологічні роботи, будував печі, горни.
These kilns not only produced the porcelain, but also bonded paints to the products.
І кольорові фарби фіксували на виробах.
Це вперше...
This was the first time that Europeans brought the European style Rococo first of all. There were a lot of artists, French artists, who worked and created their works in Ukraine.
Французьких художників, які працювали і робили на теренах України.
It was Europe here in Ukraine. And so it was from European porcelain that Volokytyne porcelain originated. This is all characteristically European, both dishes and small objects. It's exquisite, it's very light, it's all glowing and of very high quality. So when the Germans or French visit us, they're absolutely surprised.
Якісна. І коли приїздять до нас ті самі німці або французи, вони просто так дивуються. От я кажу, не дивуйтесь, бо
I say to them, well, you should not be surprised because Dart himself, the artist whom Miklaszewski personally invited, was a great specialist in this form of art. Therefore, of course, he brought his experience from Europe here to Sloboda, Ukraine.
привіз до нас на Слобожанщину, на Україну.
Now the nature of such rapid success of the newly minted industrialist is clear. By the way, the foundation of these achievements was laid a century before. Mikhailo Miklaszewski, the same one who got Volokytyne from Mazepa, being far from an ordinary Cossack, was doing the same thing as the highest Cossack commanders. He built family links with other noble Cossacks. The far-sighted Cossack got his children married into well-known and influential clans of Skoropadsky, Markovich, and Lizahub. In particular, his son Stepan married Irina Markovich, the younger sister of the hetman's wife, or as some called her at the time, Hetman Anastasia Skoropadska. Back then, her contemporaries and today historians say, Ivan wears a skirt and Nastya carries the mace. This marriage essentially laid the foundation for the future success of Stepan's great-grandson, Andrei Miklaszewski. The Skoropadsky family owned many estates, including the village of Poloshki, of the then Gluchivsky district, adjacent to Volokytyne, in which they mined kaolin, the so-called Gluchivka.
Каолін був
This kaolin was the purest, best-quality kaolin, this clay, this white mass.
І саме з цієї
And from this pink and white clay they made fine and exquisite, pure white transparent porcelain, which glorified Andrei Miklaszewski's factory.
завод Андрія Міклашевського.
With Gluchivsky kaolin, sand, natural stone and firewood, St. Petersburg Olonets stone and alabaster from various places, beautiful artistic masterpieces started appearing. This provincial estate had no analogues among noble nests of the Russian Empire. And the products of Miklaszewski's porcelain factory became revolutionary. what they produced at factories of Ukrainian landlords, and where they got their ideas, watch in our next program.